Hi, Alex here from redeveloper.com, and in this advent calendar tutorial I am going to show you how you can set the volume of your background music. We can scale it down, we can scale it up, and all of this in Swift and SpriteKit. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, as usual, let's get the dirty work done. Let's commit our changes from the last day. And I will just name this, I will give the message day 17, push the remote, and we'll create this branch. And finally, as usual, we are going to create a new branch from the current branch. Let's just wait for it pushing. Okay, and now let us just create a new branch from the current branch, day 18. We are closing into Christmas. Okay, now in this video we are going to set up the UI for setting up this decreasing and increasing the volume of our background music. And to do that we are going to create a new scene, and that is the settings scene. So let's create a new file here. Let it be a Swift file, and I will call this settings. Okay, let's create it, and let's import SpriteKit, and let's create a class called settings. Okay, it will be an SKScene, and let's add our did move to view. Okay, and let's print out here. And now we need to add this logic of transitioning to the settings scenes inside our ACT manager. So let's find here our transition scene. Okay, and let's add here our settings scene type. And let us just add a new case here. I will just simply copy the last one out and replace gameplay with settings, and of course the scene type settings. Okay, and that should do it. And now we can easily transition to the settings. And we want to add a new button here on the gameplay. Let me just build and run and show you how this all looks. Well, we have a share button, a rate button, and a play button on our scene. But we want to add this whole new logic of the background music inside our settings scene. Okay, and here we will add a new button that will be the settings button that will transition to the settings scene. And we will remove this rate button and share button and add it to the settings scene because it is logical to have them there. But first of all, let us just move this rate button. Let's just copy this out, and the share button and all of the handlers. Let's hit Command X and add this into our settings before the override did move to view. And finally, the positioning and adding of the two buttons should be removed too, and that is these 4 lines of code. Okay, let's remove them and add them to the settings and paste them inside the did move to view. And this should be great. Let's just build and run and see if everything doesn't fall apart. Okay, everything looks okay. And now let's go into the main menu, and we want to construct a new button here. Let's just build again and see that the 2 buttons have been removed. Well, the new button is a new settings button, and you can see that in the resources, and it is called button settings. As you can see, it no longer has the add 2x and add 3x, because this will just do fine for our purpose. And of course we want to add the button volume that we will use later on, so I will just create a new folder here and I will just name this. Finally drag and drop the button volume image there, and maybe just move this outside of the main menu. Okay, and now we have added the 2 necessary resources. Next up is to add and create our settings button. Okay, and let me go to the main menu, and inside here I would just copy and paste our lazy button again. If you don't know how we have constructed, take a look at the previous videos. Okay, and I will just name this settings button. This is how you can easily and fastly build code easily and fast. Okay, button settings, and here we have our button action. I will just remove all of this and maybe just copy a transition, and I will just go to our gameplay and take a look at our show alert. Yes, this should be a back button. Yeah, this should be it. Okay, let's just copy this, go back to the main menu, add our action here, and here we have our transition, and it should transition to the settings. And we are done setting up our lazy var settings button. Next up is to add our button, and again we are going to do that in the did move to view. So settings button, and let us just create a new position here, and it will be the x value should be, let me just copy out all of this from our settings, and I will just place it where the rate button was. So I will just copy all of this out and add it there. Okay, now that I see that we have added our screen size height multiplied by -0.2, I remember that we still need to add our anchor point set to 0.5 and 0.5 inside our settings. So I will just quickly go back in there, and it should be the first line in the did move to view. Now let's go back, and finally inside our main menu let's add our settings button, add child settings button, and let's build and run and see that we can transition from the main menu to the settings scene. Okay, we have this huge button, so we still need to add our width constraints. So button scale to, and screen width percentage should be, let's say, 0.17. that should be fine. Let's build and run again, and let's see how that looks. Good stuff. I will just maybe move it a little bit up. Now that we have that set up, let's just find out. Yeah, it worked okay. The rate me and the share button just pop in nicely. And maybe we should add a new background color for the settings button scene. So background color should be, let's say, now all we need to do is transition back, okay, and that will be taken from our back button created inside our gameplay. So I'll just copy this out, and let's go back to settings, and after the share button let's add all of this. I believe I didn't, yeah, here it is. Here is our back button, and let us just go back. Okay, let's see where that is, and let's transition to our main menu. A lot of copy and pasting. Make sure that you understand the code, that you take a look at the other videos how these codes were built. Okay, and finally let's add our back button to our scene. Let's copy this out. Let's go back to settings and add our back button here. Let's test it out. And this should be fine, and we are finally ready to add the logic for the game setting up the background volume. Okay, here we are. This is all good. Why didn't the back button appear? Oh, I believe the Z position isn't correct. Well, it should be, but yes, we don't see the back button here because the position isn't correct, because we are anchoring our scene to the middle, so we need to set this to minus 0.3 and the height should be 35. Let's build and run again and let's see it happen. Okay, good stuff. And let's click on back. Great. And now that we have that set up, I want to add a label that will tell the user how many percent is the background music loud. So 100% is the loudest and 0% is not at all. And then I will add two more buttons, a minus button and a plus button here, so the user may alter the volume of the background music. So let us create a volume label here. And here we choose our font name, and let me just go maybe to our BD button and copy the font name here. And now let us add our labels font size. We will maybe add more things later on as we see fit. And now let us let's just copy this out, not the back button, maybe the shared button. So we will, let me give you here some room so you may see it up all the way up here. We will add our volume label and we will add it to the center. So I will just delete all of this and add dot 0. Okay, and volume label should be added as a child to our scene. Let us just, well, maybe again we need to add our Z position. So label dot Z position equals to 1. So it shouldn't get drawn behind the background. Let's build and run. Well, let's choose our iPhone X simulator here and let's build and run and see the volume label. Well, I have forgotten to add any text to our volume label, so I will just add now here label.text, and I will just add here, let's say 100%. Okay, now let's see if this 100% is shown in the middle of our scene. There you go, good stuff. And maybe I will just make this 36 to be seen much easier. Okay, next up we need to add our two buttons, the left and right, to this label. So I will just simply copy this out and paste it below our volume label, and I will name this label. Okay, and this will be a button, and the image named should be, and I will just go back to the asset catalog, and it should be a button volume. Okay, paste it in here, and the title should be a minus. Okay, and let's comment out, or let's delete our button action for now, and let us add it to the left of our label. So just copy this out, paste it under the volume label, and let's copy our minus label button and paste it in here. And now the width should be, let's see, minus 0.2 for example, and the height should be 0.0. Okay, let's build and run again and see if this position is good for our minus volume button. Okay, and if everything is set up right. Well, first thing I noticed is that we need to set the scale of our minus volume button to be a little smaller. So I will just name this, make it, let's say 12 maybe. Okay, and let's build and run again, and let's see. I will just most probably do the same. Okay, and what is wrong here? Why is this label? Yes, I haven't set the alignment for our label. So label dot horizontal alignment mode equals to dot center, and label dot and vertical alignment mode equals to dot center. Okay, and now we should get our label aligned to the button. Okay, there we go. Maybe we need to set this text, the title, to be a little bit bigger. So let me check the default value for our title. It is 24. So I will just maybe set the title's label to button dot title label dot font size equals to CG float universal font size, and I will name this 28. Okay, now let's do the same for our, and maybe let's add here self dot handle minus volume button. Okay, we will prepare for our next video. So I will just create our function here. Now let us just copy all of this and do it for the plus button. So plus volume button, and we will change the title here to be plus, and handle plus volume button, handle plus volume button. Okay, and finally we need to position it onto the screen. So again, copying and pasting volume button plus volume button, and I will change the width to be multiplied by 0.2. Okay, let's see what happens now. And we are ready to test our UI here, and everything looks fine. It should work. Now we will add the logic to lowering and making the sound, the background music sound higher in the next video. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos, and if you want to get notified when the next video will be available, and that is tomorrow. So I will see you in the next one.